Now, I have such pleasure to introduce one of the highlights of Pier Fest of this year. And Carol Harrison is with me to talk about your musical, All or Nothing. Yeah. So, Carol, for the very, very few who haven't heard of the musical or the Small Faces, or in fact you, give me a quick summary of, let's start with you yourself. You've been in so many things. You're an actor, and you're a writer, and a producer, you know.
And a director,
and a director. And you've actually directed, produced, and written this play, and you're in it.
And I'm in it, yeah.
So give me your...
Bit of a megalomaniac.
Yeah, no, that's it. For you to say. Give me 30 seconds of your resume.
Oh, well, I mean, I've been an actor since the early 70s, 48 years. Yeah, how could she be? You know, it's always been my life and my passion. I've been in theatre, was at the National Theatre and in TV since the mid-70s, and had my own series with Ray Winston called Get Back. I was in Brushstrokes for 7 years. A lot of people may know me from EastEnders, which I played Tiffany's mum, Louise. Yes. Probably every cop show that's been on, you know, over the last 35, 40 years.
Right, so very impressive career there. Yeah. And now, All or Nothing, well, not now, because it has been running, the play started quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And in fact, I saw it in Brighton back in 2017, I think, at the Theatre Royal. Yeah. And it is absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend the play, the musical enough. I mean, everything about it, the story, the elements of, you know, it is a kind of happy, tragic, a combination of all elements, and the performance who are actors and musicians and, you know, all around talented. So it is a feel-good but very poignant as well.
Yeah, it is very uplifting, and, you know, it's very nice to hear that music played so beautifully by our actor musicians, and I just wanted to recreate what it was like being in the 60s and listening to that band in the 60s and telling their story, because actually it's a passion for me, but it's personal because I knew Steve Marriott, who was the lead singer of the band from when I was a kid, because he grew up in the East End, where I come from, the same place, and was friends with my cousins and everything. So I wanted to tell their story, and because I'm a mod, and I've always been once a mod, always a mod, I wanted to give that experience to everybody as well. I mean, there's been obviously Quadrophenia, which is very poignant for here, but on film, but you know, I wanted it to be in theatre because that's what I do, and that's what I'm able to do, and portray to everybody. And it's such a great experience, live theatre. So I wanted to mix the live theatre and real storytelling with being at a gig and all that excitement of the music, and all played live. So it was quite a tall order to get the right actors and musicians and stuff.
So this is the All or Nothing experience?
Yeah, this is not the full show, because we toured the show all around the country, including Brighton, which was wonderful, for 2 years. And then we went into the West End with it, which was marvellous, that we transferred to the West End. But after we closed in the West End, we had such a lot of people just saying, please bring it here, please bring it here. You know, we just love it. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And, you know, we've got such a following, you know, people coming 30 times and stuff.
And people of all ages, I would have thought.
All ages, yeah, because...
People who actually remember the
people
60s,
who were there.
the people who are interested, and possibly children, possibly grandchildren.
Yeah, because the people who were brought up with the music and love the music, the sound, the scene, the band, and then they played it to their kids like I did, to my son, and their kids love it, and it reminds them of their parents as well. And then they've had children, so they're now grandchildren, and we've had the 3 generations together in our audience, you know. So in the play, it was you know, sort of comedy-tragic as well, and it's a full experience. So you know, from that, I thought, well, what can I do? And I created the experience, which is kind of more of a concert version of the show. So we have the band, we have the dancers, we have the actors, and we give you a taste of what it would be like to see the show. but it's you know, very uplifting, and it's great because people can join in everything, and we get people who are very familiar with the show, so they know the words now and the lines and stuff.
So it's a mixture of going to the theatre and to a gig.
And that's what I wanted very much, yeah. And certainly the show was, and this is much more like music, you know, a lot of concentration on the music. And we even do a second set where we do lots of groovy 60s tunes and everybody joins in and sings along with us. But we have, as I say, is the experience because we have the wonderful dancing and, you know, the characters are portrayed there fully, you know, and we have our wonderful lead actor who played the older Steve Marriott, for people who are familiar with the show, the ghost of Steve Marriott sort of thing. Yeah. And that's Chris Simmons, who some of you might know from The Bill, and he's done many things, and he's wonderful. So we still have
it's on the pier. That makes it extra special.
Yeah, it does make it extra special. Obviously, I live in Brighton now. I'm a Londoner, but I said if I could live anywhere, I live in Brighton, and obviously it's the home of mod too, so it's absolutely perfect for our show to be here. And we actually did a version of it when it was in its really early days on the beach here in 2013 when we were workshopping it. So it's kind of coming back home again, and I think because it's now the end of September and people will be packing their scooters away, and you know, the nights will be drawing in, so we wanted to have a real sort of not last, but a real sort of exciting, you know, weekend, because we've had the mod weekend, but this is the next exciting weekend. And what is wonderful for us, especially now, is that we can play live and see audiences again. And the first time we did this which was again after lockdown, because you know, the whole industry was devastated. We did Half a Million in Putney, which is a very well-known venue, and it was amazing. We were all very emotional, and the audience were emotional, and it was like a joy was like erupting from everybody. It was like coming up into the atmosphere. You could actually feel it.
Oh, how
really.
Lovely. I can imagine, and I'm absolutely sure that there'll be joy erupting on the pier as well.
I hope so.
So just before we get a little bit of taste on the screen so people get an idea what it's like, how can people find out about the show and buy tickets?
Right, so you can find out about the show by just Googling Pier Fest, because there's been lots of events, and that's where you can get your tickets from. Also, if you want to know more about the show, or where to buy tickets, you can go to our webpage, which is rockandrollproductions.co.uk. And there's lots of clips of the show and stuff like that on there. And we also have a Facebook page, which is All or Nothing the Musical. And it's on Friday and Saturday coming, so the 24th and 25th.
Of September.
And we're also going to have a ride out of our mod friends, a gathering.
They'll be turning out.
Out with their scooters, looking dapper, looking great on Friday. So that is actually, it's a bit of a shout out as well. If anyone wants to join in, we'll have the ride out starting at Modfar, the clothing in Church Street, and then going up to the pier, and we'll have a photo there for everybody and with everybody. And the show starts at 8.
Wonderful. I look forward to it, and we're going to watch a little taste of the show itself.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you wanna go, la 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 la. my mind get hung up, feed the ducks with a bun.